Good morning, guys. How did you all sleep? We are live on all platforms. I've done my morning face and tea, and now I'm having my coffee. Have a very busy day. Good morning. Welcome in. So I decided what better time to come live and do our daily reading today. I've been going live every day for about 13 days, talking about the ways fear can be holding you captive. So, if you're new, let me take an opportunity to tell you a little bit about who I am if you're new. So, I'm Coach Kenya, and unfortunately, about 10 years ago, I found myself weighing about 592 pounds. And as a result, I ended up being given 30 days to live, and put in hospice. While in hospice, I continued to decline, and so they then put me in palliative care, which is kind of the next step. Um, Nothing was working, but I wasn't working, you know. Thank you guys so much for the likes. Thank you for the love. But I wasn't working, and so as a result of my struggle, I was really eating to feel better. I didn't know at the time that would end me on my deathbed. I mean, I had ate to feel better my whole life, but I also didn't recognize that I was living in a state of fear in every area of my life. Good morning, you guys. Welcome in. If you're just now coming in, we're starting our daily reading and motivational on Monday. So just let me know that you can hear me okay. Can you all hear me okay? Is the sound okay everywhere? I'm trying to make sure I'm live everywhere. Is my sound okay? Hold on. Oh, man. This live video is in wrong mode. I have to. Dang. So sorry, Instagram. I had to end the video because, man. Okay, let me keep going. All right, so what I was sharing was one of the things I found out about my journey was that I was living in a lot of fear. And the fear showed up in very weird ways. So it wasn't that let me try to edit this. It's telling me it needs me to edit this. Let me try it again, guys. I'm so sorry. I not sure what I did wrong earlier, but I must have been moving too fast. And so I messed up the stream. I'm trying to correct it right now. Just give me a second. Give me 1 second, and I'll have that corrected. Okay. So I'm so sorry. If I'm missing your comments, I'm going to check for them right now, okay? Just give me a second. Okay, I think we have it corrected. Yes. Okay, back at it. Here we go. Comments. Let me read some. You guys, I can't see very well. It's mostly because I wear glasses and I don't like to wear them because sometimes when I wear lashes, I can't wear the glasses. And so, I'll be picking between vision and safety and glasses. Good morning, The Real Sensation. Good morning, Grace and Daphne and Jarvie. Good morning, Majoli, Black Boy, China Doll, Ebony, Cami. My name is Coach Kenya. If you're new here, this is my platform. We do a little bit of everything, but primarily what we do is I help women naturally address their weight and weight loss goals, weight loss and wellness goals by teaching them how they don't have to diet. We remove the restrictive nature of dieting and wellness, and we keep it simple and cute. And my famous quote is, "We keep it KISS," which is keep it simple, sweetie. And so, after releasing over 479 pounds naturally, I help other women do the same. But about 13 days ago, my team and I decided that we would come live and read and share some of the daily things that we do in our community with everyone on our platform. And so, good morning and welcome to Daily Reading with Coach Kenya. The series that we're going to be doing over the next year is called Face Your Fears, Face Your Fronts. We're going to be reading out of 2 books. Those books are going to be Fear Not, 365 Days of Fear Not. And the other one's going to be Melody Beattie. She's a codependency author. So we're going to be looking at our fear, and then we're going to be following it up and looking at our relationships with ourselves and others to find and locate any hidden fears. If you've been struggling with your weight loss and wellness journey, it could be related to an unknown fear. If you have issues with procrastination, running late, it's attached to something. And so what I do is I help people figure out what that something is, and then we work on it. Okay. So, but today, for now, what we're doing is we're going to be reading today's reading from Melody Beattie, which is going to be December the 16th. We read December 15th yesterday. We've been on a roll, guys. Thank you to everyone who's been tuning in, who has been doing this thing with me. I'm so grateful that you're here. I'm so grateful to have you. Because it ain't nothing like feeling like you're reading to yourself. So I'm just so grateful that you're in the building. So welcome in Teresa and Justin and Nikki, I think, and Cherie. Welcome in. And hey, Rob Parker and Marcus and Texas and Luvana and Kia and that pretty black girl, Big Dog. Welcome in. Welcome in. Welcome in. Tap the like button so that I can know you here. That's how I like to communicate, with a few taps here and there. That helps me better communicate with you so I can know that you're saying something. So if you post a comment, I can see it. So that's how that works. Okay. So let's kind of get into today's reading in 365 Days of No Fear. If you have any questions, you can drop it in the chat, but let me know where you're chatting in from. I can give you a shout out. Good morning, Sandra. I can give you a quick shout out. Okay. If you're tuning in the TikTok shop or boutique, welcome in and good morning. Some of the items that we'll be talking about that promote what we're doing are actually currently pinned to this live. If you're on the TikTok shop, that dual bundle today is going to be $20 with $10 off. So you're going to be able to get some of my products for just $10 to help you reach your goal. So if you scroll upon my live, that's probably because we have a common interest, and it's probably because I'm live doing something that maybe you would be interested in doing too. So I would love to have you follow me, join me. I believe in following back. I have no problem with following back. You follow me, I'll follow you. It's not a big deal. Let's just do the thing. I'm not trying to go viral or anything. I'm literally just inspiring people. I've been on this app for a couple of years. I have if you're on my TikTok shop, I have a backup. I have a main page, which is Coach Kenya Elliott, where all my story is, if you want to go look up my story. And if you're on my regular page, we now have a TikTok shop at iRise Boutique. So either way, I have you covered. Good morning, Claire and Robert. Hello, Angela and Marissa and T Ward. Hi, Viola. Psalms 1955. Hey, Cheryl. All right, let's get into it. Thank you so much for liking the last start 1414. I appreciate you guys when you do the likes. It makes me know that it lets me know that you're here and that you're hearing me, and to keep doing what I'm doing. So that's all I ask, just every now and then, if you can just tap it. It just kind of lets me know. Good morning, Cynthia and Jules, and hi, Cynthia and Leon. Good morning, Joanne. Hi, Dolly. Hi, Vinny. How are you? All right, here we go. Hi, Nay. All right, we're on day 12. Day 12. And it is written, and the Lord said unto Moses, fear him not, for I have delivered him into thy hand and all his people and his hand, and thou shalt do to him as thou didst unto Sihon the king of the Amorites, which dwelt at Heshbon. Numbers 21 and 34. I feel like I read that. Hold on. No, I haven't. I do that every day. It's even marked. I don't know why I do that every day. Yesterday we talked about praise, so I know it's not right. Okay, today's principle. Repeated victories over fear establish your path. Repeated victories over fear establish your path. Essentially, when you have wins in your life, when you have triumphs where you had a task in front of you and you were able to accomplish it and overcome it, it actually builds like this emotional stamina, this emotional kind of confidence that you are capable of completing something. And so what that does is it gives you an idea of what you're capable of doing. Sometimes that capability can be match your abilities. It can be more than your abilities, or it can be less than your abilities, but it is indeed present. And so what the principle for today is saying is the repeated victories over fear establish your path. So as you continue to win, as you continue to stay focused, as you continue to dig deep, as you continue to drive hard into this thing we're calling a transformation journey, a lifestyle, a movement, and when you consistently, when you consistently are showing up, essentially what begins to happen is it guides your path, right? When you start doing one good thing, you see that good thing equals something else. It makes you want to do more of it, even when it's hard. But when you have minimal victories, you can find yourself searching all the way around the world for direction. You'll find yourself living in a sense of worry, lack, and frustration, which is fearful of the unknown, because you're searching out there and unsure of where, who, what, when, or where. So in order to identify and continue to pursue whatever your goal might be, in this case, we talk about wellness. In this case, we talk about business goals. In this case, we talk about raising children, relationships, marital issues, addiction, and recovery. In this case, we talk about everything related to life. That's why we kiss and keep it simple. Because the primary focus is to make sure we're not living in any kind of fear in a situation like this, so that we can properly address it and prevent it from happening over and over and over. There's a method to the madness of discovering the ins and outs of our thinking patterns, so that we're able to see why we don't complete tasks, why we can't stay motivated. Maybe you're afraid of failing again. Maybe you've almost got to the finish line and you didn't almost get there. So because you failed, you're holding on to that, and it's causing you fear of succeeding again. So you just don't try to. That is a real thing. It's a real thing. Is there anybody in any of the lives, can any of you all relate to that? The fact that you started some things and you didn't finish it. So now that business, that weight loss journey, you started it, but something happened and you had to stop. So the weight came back. And now your method is, I'll just stay big because I can't do it. But really what's happened is the mindset is being dampened by the memories of the previous success. Therefore, it's hard for you to see yourself in a different light other than the previous success you've achieved. So you're struggling to get started, or you're getting started, but you can't stay stuck. And the reason why you can't stay stuck, because your primary focus is to get back to where you used to be, in fear of trying to get to somewhere else, because you don't know what that looks like, but you know what the used to looks like. The problem with trying to pursue a new version of oneself in your health and wellness goals in particular, that if I'm trying to pursue a previous body or a previous size, I must indeed understand that my mindset is now different. My life has been altered. Things have happened. I may be jaded. Therefore, I'm skewed. My vision is different. I'm not looking at life the same. So if I'm trying to go back to what I used to look like, the problem is who I am is no longer that person. Thank you so much, user. So now it's difficult for me to get going again, because I only have a preference to what I used to be. Right? Thank you so much for the likes. It's in relation to what I used to be. So what I had to do is I had to begin to journal. And if you're seeing me live on the TikTok shop, you'll see that there's some products tagged. And that journal specific, it has an affirmation each day that I would put on my phone and record it, so I can have it played back to myself when I got stuck. Because I realized that my mindset, good morning, Mocha, good morning, Brenda, good morning, guys, good morning. Thank you so much, user. I realized my mindset was the culprit. It was driving the vehicle that kept hitting the brick wall that limited my ability to get the weight gone. It wasn't the medicine. It wasn't the surgery. It was my mindset. It was me. I was living in a form of fear. I had already failed at it before. I had already lost weight and gained weight and lost weight and gained weight and had surgery and had a reversal and had fat frozen off, and it didn't work. And I had those things where you suck out stuff, and that didn't work. Like where you get that little needle thing at those local clinics. I don't know, they're called spas. I tried some things. But none of it seemed to work because no matter what they told me after those procedures, I still wanted to eat when I was upset. I still wanted to eat when I was stressed out. Food still rummaged through my thoughts. The food obsession and cravings were ever present every time someone suppressed they tell me I couldn't have something, my brain would begin to obsess about it. It became a real live thing I had to try to grapple with. I could no longer ignore the reality. Good morning, Trissa. Good morning, Sincere and Valerie. I could no longer hide it. Asharella, good morning. Good morning, Nicole. I could no longer hide my truth or my reality, so I had to face it. And this time I had to face it head on. And then I had to accept that the woman that once lost the weight the first time couldn't be the same woman that lost the weight this time. Because the woman that lost the weight the first time did it for the wrong reasons. But the woman who fought her way naturally back from her hospice bed, paralyzed with no ability to go to a gym or an excuse to not do it, was required something different of me. It changed something about my molecular DNA. Because everything I knew as life left me, I knew abandoned in real lifetime. And if I shall get weary, I would have ate about it. If I got weary, I would have eaten more. But somewhere along the way, I decided in my mind that the only thing that I was afraid of is something that I didn't know anything about. And what would it hurt if I tried? Thank you, Mocha, for the likes. What would it hurt if I gave it a go? Good morning, Malik. What would it hurt if I actually rose above the struggles, the cravings, the obsessions, the calorie counting, the tracking, the running to the gym? What if there was a way for a paralyzed, bed-bound woman on palliative care weighing 592 pounds? What if there was a way? When all the odds were stacked against me from financially to physically, what if there was a way that I could eat more, move more effectively? Thank you, Gordy, for the likes. Good morning, Valerie. And lose the weight. What if there's a way? And there was. But see, the way had already been presented to me, but I wasn't willing because I was in fear of the old life I used to live. Don't you know I had gotten comfortable eating like that? I'd get comfortable being that big. I'd gotten familiar with being sickly, with being the girl who was in hospice dying. I had become familiar with that identity, the big friend. Oh, I need accommodations. Everything has to be justified for me because of my size. I had become accustomed to that. That was my identity. And although I did not admire my size, I admired who I was. So when they told me that I would have to change all of me, I didn't know what they meant. I didn't get it. I was like, I just need to get healthy and lose weight. I didn't understand that really what I thought I needed to do was get thinner. And from getting thinner, I thought my mindset would shift. But what was happening is my mindset did not shift upon reaching thindom. Not thing, but thindom. When I reach thindom, okay, there's plusdom and thindom. When I reach what people want to consider thin, I don't consider it thin. I begin to realize that my mindset was so jaded. Good morning, TR. That I still was battling with the mind. That there were still actual bombs and grenades being thrown in my thoughts at me. That there was actually fire happening inside of my mental thinking. There was something happening inside of my mental thinking, and it was holding me captive. And it was only till I started figuring out what I was afraid of. I was afraid of losing the weight and failing yet another time. I was afraid of getting sick again. What if I do all this work and I just end up back in the hospice bed, back at 592 pounds, back dying? What if I do all this for nothing? What if I lose everything I have? I did. What if I get back sick again? I do. Good morning, Chiquita. Good morning, Crutch. Good morning, Word. Good morning, Big. Good morning, Demar, Carissa, Lily, Krista, Marie. Good morning. Good morning, TR. Thank you so much for being in the building. Thank you for keeping us safe. What if? But those things actually happened, and I still stay stuck to my situation. I'm still here. I thought, well, if I lose the weight and something happens, I'm gonna get it all back. But that's not true. My world has been on fire around me, and I simply was able to grab a fire extinguisher and begin to put out the fires. I didn't have to eat over it. When you are following a system that's curated to feed those cravings and that need that you have and those obsessions, when you're working on, when you're taking your injection, when you're post-op, when you're pre-op, when you are battling that, you need tools. But the one unspoken about tool is what we're doing right now this morning. And that's addressing the way we think about our lives, the way we feel about how we live, and the way we pursue our feelings, the way we put those feelings out in the world, and the way those feelings are received back to us. Grand Rising, Jacqueline, good morning. Good morning, JW. Good morning, Eddie and Shell. These are really true and live relevant things. It is here that we discover that what has baffled us for years about our weight loss and wellness. Sad, Charlene, Valerie, thank you guys for the likes. Shell, what has baffled us about our wellness? What has baffled us about our health and wellness? What has baffled us about our business goals? What has baffled us about a dream that we may let die if we don't get our life right? What's baffled us is our mindset. How am I going to make it stop? What if I told you not only can it stop, but you can begin to have enough discipline to control it? Is it easy? No. But that's why we're addressing our fears. Good morning, Lovely and Blondie and Eddie. Good morning, Rainy. That is why we are addressing our fears. So that we can open the door to a better version of ourselves, and we're not afraid of what that version will look like. We don't have to set any standards. We don't have to lay any standards out there that we need to try to meet. I'm 10 years older than I was 10 years ago. There's no way I can meet the standards of the younger Kenya. I done been through some things. I act like an old woman now. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not the same me. So for me to set a goal and say, I just want to get back to where I used to be, I don't want to go back there. You know what I was going through back there? I was going through some things. I wanted to unalive myself. Let me tell you something. I don't want to go back to her. I want to discover what version of me that was meant for me before life came along and dented it. Before life came along and made me afraid and fearful. Tap the like button if any of this sounds familiar. Tap the like button. I'm going to finish our reading. You tap the like button and tell me if this is sounding familiar. If this is resonating. Good morning, Kim and Kay. If this is resonating with you, tap that like button and let me see you. If it's not, no worries. Stay a while. Don't stay. It's your way, baby. It's like Burger King over here. All right, next. It says repeated victories over fear establishes your path. That was our principle. Our prayer is, I claim perpetual victory over fear in Jesus' name. The second prayer is, there shall be no reinforcement of fear in my life in Jesus' name. Have you ever had a fear and then went and reinforced it? You don't want that. Like, you know, now when I tell you I've lived a fearful life, you have no, I could tell you stories of how I've lived in so much fear. I've almost died from it. You know what I'm saying? Fear is okay, that saying fear and faith can't dwell. Fear and faith really can't dwell in the same place. It really can't. And I'm not really sure why it can't, but what I do know is fear and fake faith can dwell in the same space. Because if my faith is only situational, if my faith is only vibrational, to me, faith is one thing that never changes. We either all the way in or we all the way out. We riding on the pole or we riding on the bike, but we doing something to enhance and magnify. If I'm living in fear and I haven't recognized that there's something greater than myself functioning in the world, then how will I ever begin to believe that I'm capable of achieving something that I have never seen, I can't see? I have to have not only faith in knowing that there's something bigger than me conducting my lungs and heart, but I need to ultimately rest and have faith within myself. Faith in God, faith in self. Faith in God, faith in self. When they're aligned, I'm not as fearful. I didn't say I didn't say I never have fear at all. I said that when fear for me is so low that I no longer allow it to cripple me. It used to cripple me. I refuse it. I rebuke it. TR says you cannot kneel and pray to G and then get up and don't have faith in him to do it. I second that. Thank you, Jacqueline. Thank you for the likes, guys. Thank you for love. Good morning, Chuck and Denzel. Because the truth is, have you ever thought about something like one thing I used to do, and I don't know about you guys, but one thing I used to do related to this, there shall be no reinforcement of fear in my life in Jesus' name. I would have the fear and then I would reinforce the fear. Let me tell you how I would reinforce the fear. And then this is going to be unique because most people won't even think that this is reinforcing the fear. Most people will think you're seeking confirmation, you're seeking validation, but really what you're possibly doing is enforcing the fear. Okay. Good morning, Courtly. This is why. Say, for example, I have a situation happen. I go pray about the situation and I call myself giving it to God to handle. But then a few minutes later, my girlfriend calls me and I tell her the entire story and then I tell her to pray. Let me get some coffee. I feel myself going somewhere. Now, remember, I just did my little jam. I done went in my secret closet. I done cried out. I done called out. I done bowed out. I done did all that stuff to the man up there, the woman up there, whoever you think is up there. And I done declared and decreed victory over my life, myself, my children's, the rock, the trees, the bricks, the sticks, and all the humans and people in the world. And I've come now, I've done all these things. And I prayed. And as soon as I get up, I get a call from my girlfriend. And I immediately began to tell her the story that I just supposedly gave to G. Then I done dropped it on his front step, let him know what's going on, told him I need him to fix it. Jesus, he will fix it somehow. I done did all of that, okay? I done highlighted scriptures, put stickies on walls, declared and decreed, spoke in tongues. And when my girlfriend calls, I tell her the whole story all over again and tell her to pray for me. Well, what did I ask God for then? Then I know you're probably thinking 2 or 3 agree. But if God told you let it rest when you was talking to G, then why'd you come up out the closet and the first thing you had to do with your girlfriend was tell her your side story? And now you got her manifesting ideas and solutions of what you need to go do when you ain't even heard nothing back from Big G yet, but you out in these streets seeking secondary solutions when you ain't even got your first opinion. But I'm talking to somebody right now. I mean, you praying first. But you running so fast to Tasha, Tamika, and Joshua that you're not even waiting for him to give you a response. So by the time you get to them and get their responses, you can't hear his response because you done already start working on their response. Out in these streets is what we call it on my team. Not streets, we call it streets. When you come up with the delusional ability that you think you're going to know something better than somebody else, faster than somebody else, dipping your hands in spaces you ain't supposed to be yet, trying to fix things that you ain't even laid at the feet, at the cross, at the book, at a nothing. You ain't even asked the energy.
You just done called 5 or 6 friends to tell them your story and your situation. And I was always told in Codependence Anonymous, after you tell a story 2 times, after that, you seeking attention. And I'm not trying to step on nobody's toes. I'm just trying to say that's how stories get messed up. And then you get mad when Tamika come back in and tell you that Tasha told you the story different than you told Tasha. But you had told the story so many times, by the time you told Tasha, you don't really know what you said to Tasha. And I don't care how many times you say that you remember everything you say, unless you have training to do that, it's not easy. And I got trained to do that. And I have had several strokes and I struggle myself. So let me tell you one thing, certain 2 things for sure. We walking around in fear. And fear is a form of bondage. And it's got us all wrapped up, tied up, locked up in a knot. And for many of us, every day we live in fear is another day that our dreams are fearfully dying. They're slowly dwindling away, every opportunity missed. I told you it was not going to work. I told you it was not going to work. What? I missed something. Hold on. What I have done, I can do. What I've done, I can do 1,000 times right now. And as soon as one thing goes wrong, I say, I'm reading comments, guys, so let me know. I told you it was not going to work. Yep, that's what God says. Every time you come up with a witty idea or invention, that just you know, especially when you haven't heard nothing. You know, there was a time in my journey where, because I couldn't hear God, I couldn't hear him. I couldn't hear my higher power because there was so much noise. So what I heard was my voice talking to me. Did you see what I said? So I would hear my voice confirming me. Did you catch it? Look how deep that is. I would hear me confirming my ideas. So I would run off and do it. And when it would go bad, I wouldn't understand why. And then I learned to sit silently. The power in meditation, particularly weight loss meditation, if you struggle with your weight, is very powerful because it removes the compulsive ideology of thinking and movement. It teaches the body to rely on the breath during stressful times, and it helps you regulate your emotions and gain emotional sobriety. Many of us are emotionally immature, and what happens as a result, when we become overly anxious, we tend to snack, and we become addicted to emaciating. And when you become addicted to the act of chewing or the pursuit or grooming of seeking food, it can lead you to a battlefield of going between restrictive, where you're not eating that much at all, to overeating consistently for days or weeks at a time. All while saying you're watching what you're eating, but not recognizing that you switch the categories of food that you're taking. It's not a bad thing. It happens to the best of us. But the truth of the matter is, if you don't know what's actually happening, you won't know what to do. Because this isn't about behavior. And a lot of times people want to tell you it's about behavior, but that's actually not about behavior. That what I just described is actually a process that's occurring in your brain. And when you don't do it, it creates a sense of anxiousness, which leads to flight or fight, and nobody wants that. So your body, without your permission, is working against the clock to try to get you assisted enough where you can do what you need to do. Okay? Second reading. Deliciousness. Okay. We have become more comfortable in the lie of fear rather than in the power of faith. Oh my gosh, TR, yes, that is so true. And not only that, like, let's get 2,500 likes. Let's do it. Let's go. Let's go. And I just looked down. I did glance at it earlier, but I be getting the days wrong. Today's reading for Melody Beatty. So if you just came in, we're doing our daily reading with Coach Kenya. We just finished Fear Not. You can get this off Amazon. My bishop gave this to me several years ago. I have grown fond of the book, and I'm officially tackling it from day 1 to 365, and I'm inviting you to join me. I'm inviting you to join me in looking at fear in your life, and if it's holding you captive or holding you bondage and preventing you from reaching your goals and reaching where you want to be. So I encourage you to share this live. I encourage you to follow me. I do follow back. I encourage you to reach out if you're interested in my services, if you're looking for a coach, if you're looking for someone to help you figure out where to go next in your journey, you're not sure, please feel free to click the link or head on over to my website, www.iriseboutique.com, and that will get you the 12-week or the 5-week, whichever one you choose, will get you set up and ready to go. All right. Well, let's get to our next reading. Be an angel. December 16th. I often imagine that we keep the angels very busy. They will tell us to turn here or there, warn us of dangers, stay, listen, and look. They tell us, okay, they tell us things will be okay, and they're sorry we hurt. Angels in our lives encourage us to hope, dream, dare, and trust. They point out beautiful sights. They shine a light on our path, so we know where to step next. Most of us are not as sure of ourselves as we like others to as we like others to think. We need guidance, faith, and hope. We need angels to help us. The angels in our lives offer a the angels in our lives give us a kind word, share a kind thought, offer a helping hand, and a warm smile. Their words empower and comfort us. They radiate, they touch heals. Wait a minute. Their touch heals, their loving looks warm our hearts. They radiate love and faith. I'm sorry, struggling to read that a little bit. Let me read that one again. The angels in our lives give us a kind word, share a kind thought, offer a helping hand, and a warm smile. Their words empower and comfort us. Their touch heals, their loving looks warm our hearts. They radiate love and faith. Welcome in, RSVP. Welcome in, guys. Welcome in to anyone who just came. Welcome in, Jacqueline and Jacqueline on both. Thank you, Mona, for the likes. Thank you, Jacqueline, for the likes. I've learned it's easy to be loving. One man said, what takes work is to be kind. Ooh, that is so true. It's very true that it does take a lot of work to be kind. But I think that, I think why I try to be kind is because when I was laying in that hospital bed, it was really hard. And people weren't nice. Mm-mm. It's not what you think, boo. Mm-mm. And so because I know that now, it's like I, I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to be a problem or a part of a problem. I don't want to. I don't want it. And so, and the closing for the day says, make it easy for the angels and easier for others. Practice being loving and kind. Be an angel too. And I think everyone can. Crystal, did you get my? Sorry, guys, really quick. Crystal, I need you to inbox me, because I don't have your name, email, or phone number. When it comes through like that through the business, it blocks it out, if that makes sense. It makes it asterisks. It's not actually I can't see it. If how that makes sense. Okay. Oh, I was praying. Because I wanted to, yeah, I'm okay. I wanted to speak on a topic, but I don't think it's appropriate. um related to weight loss about being kind and body shaming. So, um, sometimes we think about kindness that we read above. It takes work only if your history is not a practice in doing so. Yes, Crystal. Okay, thank you. Crystal, I saw your comment before I closed my eyes. Yes, you're correct. I think we're so focused on being kind to other people, but when we have so much unhealed stuff that a lot of the kindness is missed for ourselves. I'm trying to word this right so I don't get blocked. So what ends up happening is we're more focused on how we present ourselves in terms of treating other people, but then we don't get that same treatment, meaning ourselves. So we'll speak kindly to other people, but we won't speak kindly to ourselves. If we fail or forget to do something, then we use very not good language. We don't use language that's loving. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna say that. Because we don't use language that's loving on ourselves, most of the damage that's continuing to be done is from ourselves. So in essence, end up being, that word's going to get me blocked. Okay. Anyways, if you start following my blogs, this is a blog in my community that I'm talking about. But the other day I got blocked when I used this particular, not blocked, but I got a warning and I don't want to get a warning. So I was trying to figure out how to word it. So I'll say this. The same grace that you extend to other people, extend that grace to yourself. And I'm speaking in relation to not just looking for other angels in your life, but being an angel yourself. And I mean being an angel to yourself. It's okay if you're tired and you're worn down and you've done a lot and you need to take a break, then you need to take a break. You need to take a break. You understand what I'm saying? Sometimes we're going so hard and so fast that we don't extend any type of grace or self-love. None. Everyone's always talking about self-care, but I'm talking about self-love. When was the last time you actually sat and admired who you were? Like what you did good, how great you looked, how great you feel, what you've accomplished. When is the last time you sat and wrote a list of all the things you've been able to accomplish? Like when? You know, the other day I made a reference to blah, 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 blah. And what I was trying to explain in that reference is that if we're not careful, we'll be on that same circular motion of seek, achieve, fail, seek, achieve, fail, seek, achieve, fail, seek, achieve, fail. And what I mean by that is we never restart, right? Like we'll stop but never restart that thing. Like, oh, I used to want to have a business, but I never tried again. Why not? Try again. Try until you get it. And I always think of Walt Disney. Like, how many times do you see this story about Walt Disney everywhere? And I think it only that's used so much because who wouldn't give up after 301 times? Anybody would. But the truth is perseverance is relevant in any area of your life. And many of us don't use that for our own self. Our own self. Our own self. I said my info. Thank you. I saw your message earlier. Our own self. Our own self. When we do those things, then fear can't dwell as long. Fear can't become as big. Like I used to get so fearful, I would create a story. Okay, this is a good example. I would create a story in my head about what I thought was going to happen. Catch this. I would create a story about what I was going to say, what they were going to say, what I was going to do, what they was going to do, how it was going to be, what I was going to wear. I would create an entire story and dialogue of what they were going to say and what I was going to say in my head. The problem is I would do that over and over until it was obsessive. And then it wouldn't happen. Yeah. I would have spent days rummaging thoughts about the issue. And the worst part is sometimes when I did finally bring it up to the person, they would tell me it didn't even matter to them. But I had created stories, I had created scenarios that I just knew were going to happen. They never happened. But there I sat in fear, plotting and planning how I was going to defend myself when there was no need to be offended in the first place. I tortured myself for no reason. Tortured myself to the point where I felt like I needed to say something about it because I didn't say something when it first happened. So it took me building the story up, telling it over and over and over to people. There's a word for that. I can't use none of them words. Over and over to people. For what? They couldn't solve it or fix it. And then it never happened with the person. A waste of time, energy, space, all of that. Prayers, praying for what? About something that didn't even matter. But because it affected me in a way, and I felt righteous and indignant, and I needed to stand up for myself. And I'm not saying don't stand up for yourself. I'm saying sometimes the offenses that we take okay, dang, okay, I have to take this call. Dang it. I hope she's okay. Hey, are you okay? Because I'm live, but I thought it was an emergency. So you want me to call you right back?
Yes, love you.
Okay, I'll call you right back. Okay. Okay, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Okay. I think we're back on. Are we back live? I'm sorry. I would create these scenarios of these discussions that were going to happen and then they wouldn't happen. And then I would feel slighted or unheard, but there was nothing to be heard about. But I created all of that based on the fear. Do you get it? And I can't use the words I want to use nor say the things I want to say because one of my moderators on TikTok are going to get mad. 2, I'm going to get that big red thing on the screen again. And 3, sometimes I be giving really dramatic examples. So I'm trying to learn to taper it down. So I'm trying to use my words wisely, but all while still sharing what I'm trying to share with you. So I do, Mama Mo, hi, beautiful. So I thank you for the gifts. Thank you so much. It's so good to see you. I haven't seen you in so long. So I want to choose those words. Good morning, Don, Mia, and Yolanda. Choose those words wisely so I don't run into any problems with us doing this. Thank you for joining my team, Crystal. I don't want to run into any problems with us. Thank you for lighting up my gift gallery, Mama Mo. Thank you for always loving on me when you come through. Thank you. And so I want to encourage you to take a deeper look. 1, how are you treating yourself? How are you talking to yourself in self-love? Not self-care, not what are you doing for yourself, but how are you talking to yourself? When you make a mistake, what are you saying in response? Are you calling yourself stupid, dumb, silly, crazy, blah, 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 blah? Or are you saying, okay, well, stuff happens. Let me move on. Are you letting it go? Are you holding yourself to the fire? Are you overly beating yourself down for no reason? Because the thing is, God can't give you room to grow if you are the abuser. Now, I'm trying to figure out the right words to use so they don't put me out this place. They don't want me here because they know I'm going to set some people free. And they don't want me to set some people free because I've seen darkness, you see. I've seen the pits of darkness. I've seen what desperation really looks like. I've seen what the end of the road. Although we've come. Like Boys and the Men, I was at the end. So I'm not speaking from somebody else's experience. I'm not telling you a story from secondhand. I'm giving you firsthand love and knowledge with a little bit of education and some training behind it. I'm giving you the real deal, Holyfield. Thank you so much for the gifts. I want you to understand that the fear that is secretly existing in our lives may be the culprit to it all. It can be your culprit to why you don't feel close to God, your culprit to why you can't get that new job, the culprit to your relationships, the culprit to your children's ships, the culprit to the dream, the jobs, the culprit to your finances, the culprit to you standing up for yourself. Oh, it hurt. All of that can be literally a culprit if you are not checking within your own internal bank and ensuring that everything is cleaned out. And our prayer ministry is doing this month we're looking at deliverance. And I tell you, the things I've learned that you have to be delivered from has been astronomical. It has literally changed how I pray and enhance what I pursue and even how I move during the day. I'm no longer waiting for the next shoe to drop. I'm so focused on the fact that I already understand and I now realize that what has been promised to me can only not get to me if I block it. If fear and faith cannot dwell in the same place and I'm in fear, I am the blocker. Remember the football team. We talked about the football team several days ago during the daily reading with me. And I told you how we got a football team. And the football team, they get on the field and they all have a role. And we all assign a role to them. And they sign up and they do their roles. And when the team isn't communicating, the roles don't get accordingly happen. They don't happen accordingly. And when the football team is not running the same play, the ball that is being passed either on offense or defense does not make it to the proper destination. If your football team is not properly being conducted and the players are all over the field, meaning your spirituality, your fitness, your physical health, your mental health, your family situation, your finances, if the players on the field that I just named are all over the place, how can you feel grounded? How can you not live in fear? I have lived in fear for so many years about lack and deprivation. I rebuke it. I come from a family that thinks like that lives like that. It's been inbred in me since I was a child. I rebuke it. I shall not lack. I shall not lack in my health. I shall not suffer from a disease. I shall not live with the disease. I shall not have to go to a clinic to do nothing on no weekly basis with no word to nobody unless it's the church of God. I declare and decree those things wiped away from you and me. I declare and decree no treatments, no appointments, no medicines. I declare and decree no knee pain. Anything keeping you from being able to get closer to where you feel like you need to be in your life, in your walk with God, in your walk with faith. Anything preventing you, if the knees are preventing you from getting on your knees and pray, then we pray the knees be healed. If the knees is why you can't get up and down the steps, and every time you go to a store, you got to sit in the car, that's lessening who you are. What if the light that you need to see to shine brighter is inside the store, but you can't get inside the store because your knees hurt? See, there's some things that we have to be willing to push through to see if victory is on the other side. There is victory. The question is, will you put down fear and pick up just enough faith to stay long enough and strong enough for God to pull you through so you can win? It's your choice. Oh, I'm winning, boo. I'm just inviting you along with me. Every day, we showing up. We hopping on here. We're grabbing the products. We're doing what we're supposed to be doing. We're connected in the community. We got a whole community waiting for us. We got a program. If you're struggling and you're trying to find a place, a soft landing, I like to call it, to put your feet, to learn more, to get more educated about your weight loss, your wellness, unhealed traumas and things like that you may feel you need to look at. You know, if you're an emotional eater, that's okay. Oh, thank you for sharing my life, sister. Sister, I didn't know you were here. Thank you. Good morning, sister. If you're searching, pray about it. And if I come across your FIP again, I might be your girl. But on a serious note, I am diligently looking. I am looking for 250 women. We have set aside the admission of 250 women for the cost of only $69 each. We would like to bless 250 women
to join my program. That's over $3,500 value, where we'll provide you with everything you need to be successful. Meal plans, workouts, meditations, coaching, monthly one-on-one check-ins, weigh-ins, weekend parties, cook with Coach Live. I'm actually going to cook recipes like I do now. We're considering adding more classes. We meet in the daytime on some days and in the evening for our people that work during the day. So you actually have accountability. We have a private WhatsApp chat, which we use every day. So every day people are checking in there. Everything you need to succeed, and all you have to do is show up. The work has been done for you. We are looking for 250 women. That's it. If you're on TikTok Shop, all you have to do is click the shop mall, click on the 5-week transformation. It's $79 with $10 off. You can pay in 4, and you can get started on your weight loss and wellness journey, and there's no need to wait to 2025, because baby, you alive right now in 2024, right? Every day we get the opportunity to open our eyes is another day to be a better version of ourselves. Why wait for something that you just do? Why wait for something that you're worthy of having and you deserve to have today, when all the cards have been set up for you to succeed and to be able to get started no matter the what? We are super excited at Team I Rise to work with each and every one of you. We're excited. I mean, it's a little strict. It's hard. But man, do we want you. Good morning, Pookie and Lulara and Marjorie and Amina and Jones and Dana. Good morning, Mona. We're excited. Good morning, Devontae. We are excited to work with you. Because, after losing 479 pounds naturally and keeping it off over 10 years, I think I might have to choose. Bye. See you tomorrow. Same place, not the same time. I have appointments all day today, so I have to work with my appointments. But tomorrow in the morning, but not this early. See you tomorrow. Have a good one, babies. Have a good one. Have a good one.